Welcome, WolfTheWolfettes! Today we are going to be doing a little bit of a different video. Normally I just do walkthroughs and let's plays on this channel, but today I decided I want to have a nice long chat about Crash Bandicoot the Sane Trilogy. Now if you guys didn't know, Crash Bandicoot Remastered was announced way back at E3, just a quick little brief announcement that they were making some remasters, and then at PlayStation Experience on Saturday they revealed the proper gameplay, and I tell you WolfTheWolfettes, it looks absolutely incredible. But before I get into it, what we're going to do is I'm going to have a little chat about the history of Crash Bandicoot, my opinions and stuff. I'm sure many people will agree with me, but yeah, my opinions. So don't get too anal in the comments. Then we're going to have a look at some Crash Bandicoot Insane gameplay. And then we're going to have a look at the same gameplay again, but I'm going to talk over it and let you guys know the things that are done brilliantly and the things that maybe need to be improved and stuff like that. But yeah, before we get into it, let's talk about the history of Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was invented by Naughty Dog, and most likely everybody's favourite Crash Bandicoot is going to be one of the ones created by Naughty Dog. I know lots of people love Crash 1, lots of people love Crash 2 The Wrath of Cortex, not The Wrath of Cortex, Cortex Strikes Back, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, and Crash Team Racing the spin-off, which is like a karting game similar to Mario. Those are generally everybody's favourite games. Me personally, Crash Bandicoot 2 will always be my favourite, but I like Crash Bandicoot 1 a lot because of the difficulty. I did love the difficulty. But yeah, those four came out, and they are probably one of the most important series with Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid 1, that probably made Sony and PlayStation 1 as popular as it was. So they were absolutely brilliant games, absolutely spectacular. They were PlayStation only, published by Sony, worked on by Universal and Naughty Dog. Lovely jubbly. Then we got to the PlayStation 2 years, and then the deal between Sony and Universal sort of ended. So then other random studios and Universal, they started making games and they went multi-platform. Now at first, I'm not going to lie, I mean Crash Bash on PlayStation 1, I wasn't a fan of that because it didn't have enough different game modes. It was like a party game similar to Mario Party, I think. I think it was trying to be something like that. I wasn't much of a fan of Crash Bash, but Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex, I absolutely loved that one. It was brilliant. It was still, there's great warp rooms, still collecting crystals, getting the gems with the boxes, all that good stuff. The only thing I wasn't too much of a fan of was having Crush as the main villain in every single warp room. I would have preferred having multiple bosses, but besides that, it was a great game. Then we had Crash Nitro Kart. That was also a very good karting game. The problem with that one was it started getting a lot of like weird upside down driving and spacey cars and stuff like that, so I wasn't too much of a fan of that. Then Crash Twinsanity. From this point onwards, I feel like Crash Bandicoot went to shit. Crash Twinsanity was a great game, but my main issue with it was the fact that you had to work with Cortex. Now, when you spend from about 4 years old to about 10 years old, when you spend that amount of time learning to hate somebody called Cortex, and then suddenly they bring out a game where he's got to be your friend, I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, he's not completely your friend. He's working with you because, you know, there's a bigger evil, similar to Ratchet and Clank All for One, where you have to work with Nefarious, you know. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff, but yeah, I understand why they did it, but I wasn't too much of a fan of that. Crash Team Racing, I didn't really like that. That was one of the only karting games I didn't like. But from this point onwards, Crash Bandicoot went to absolute shit. Crash of the Titans and Crash Mind Over Mutant are an absolute disgrace, you know. They gave Crash Bandicoot a voice, and Crash doesn't have a voice, you know. If you're going to give Crash Bandicoot a voice, the most you should do is make him an Australian, you know. Because all of the adverts and the commercials when PlayStation 1 Crash Bandicoots were coming out, Crash was always Australian, you know. So it was, if he had to have a voice, he had to be Australian. But no, Sierra fucking Entertainment, the publishers I think at the time, and whoever made it, I think it was Radical Entertainment. I can't remember who made them, but yeah, they ruined Crash. They gave him a stupid voice, and he sounded like an idiot, you know. He sounded worse than I probably sound right now. And they also gave him tribal tattoos, and it was basically not Crash Bandicoot anymore. The gameplay was completely different. In Crash of the Titans, you had to take over Titans and stuff. But yeah, from that point onwards, Crash Bandicoot went to shit. But he still sold very well. Every single Crash Bandicoot game, as far as I know, sold at least over 1 million copies. So the game was still selling well, but most people that were fans of it probably weren't happy with it. But yeah, that's some history of Crash Bandicoot. Sorry if I spoke for too long. So yeah, that's Crash Bandicoot. Now it's been a long time since we got a new Crash. You know, it's been I think 6 years since there's been a console Crash Bandicoot, and it's been 8 years since there was a console Crash Bandicoot, and it's been 6 years since there was a Crash game, because I think there might have been one on mobiles, a racing game. I think it might be Nitro Kart 2. So yeah, you had that come out, and since then there hasn't been any games. But now, since E3 2016, Sony has announced with Activision and being developed by Vicarious Visions, they're going to be remastering. I mean, I don't know why they say remaster, it's clearly a remake, but they're going to be remaking the original trilogy for PlayStation 4. And I've got to be honest with you, because the last few Crash Bandicoots were really bad, I thought to myself, well, these are going to be absolutely terrible. They're going to be dog shit, you know? I didn't want to think that because I really love Crash. But yeah, I've looked at the footage of the PlayStation Experience gameplay, and I tell you, I could not be happier. It is absolutely spectacular. So I'm going to stop talking now, because I've been talking for like 5 minutes and you guys have probably already turned the video off. And I'm going to play the gameplay. So yeah, enjoy. I'll come back once the gameplay's over and we're going to watch it again and see what's good and what's not. Okay, right. Hopefully you enjoyed that gameplay. As you probably saw though, they have done a very good job. Crash Bandicoot is looking absolutely sexy. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to watch that footage again and I'm going to look out for the little things that go on in Crash Bandicoot 1 and see if they've kept it in the remake or what they've improved and stuff. So let's get right into this. Let's have a little look. Right. Oh, already. Can you hear that soundtrack? Can you hear that amazing soundtrack? Now this level right here is Insanity Beach. This is the first level in Crash Bandicoot 1. I don't think they've shown Crash Bandicoot 2 or 3 yet. Let's have a listen. Yep, Uka Uka has still got his brilliant noise. Oh, brilliant. All the sound effects are absolutely spot on. That's one of the most important things when you're going to remake a game, is you've got to get the sound right, you know. For some reason, the person playing this just left that box behind. Heavy machinery, I think this level is. Let's have a look. If you touch those frozen pipes, I think you do survive. If you touch the hot ones, you die. He left another box. Oh, now hang on a minute. Now, those heads right there, if you guys haven't played the original, you had to collect those heads right there, which is Tanya Bandicoot. That is Tanya Bandicoot's face. You had to collect 3 of those, and if you collect 3 of those, it would activate a bonus round. Now, in Crash Bandicoot 1, the bonus rounds were very important because that was your only way of saving the game. If I remember correctly, what you had to do was you had to get 3 of Tanya Bandicoot's head, then you would get a bonus round. And if you completed the bonus round and got all of the boxes, I think you would have the opportunity to save your game. But I think if you didn't collect all the boxes, you might have got a code. So you could write the code in manually and then it would bring you to the current point in the game. I can't remember. I know if you get the bonus round, that was the only way you could save the game, because Crash Bandicoot 1 was absolutely unforgiving in every single way. But yeah, let's carry on. Oh, and we're going to stop it again quickly. Now, if you look down there, if any of you guys get the Crash Bandicoot remakes, then make sure you jump down there. You see where that like dirty ooze is falling? If you jump between those 2 turtly spinny guys, then there's actually a secret area down there. So make sure you jump down there. I think there is, if I remember correctly. I play Crash Bandicoot so much that I should probably know everything perfectly. Oh, there we go. Got to pause it again. Now that's Dr. N. Brio, I think his name is. Dr. N. Brio? Yeah, I think it's Dr. N. Brio. Now, if you collect 3 of his head, as well as 3 of Cortex's head, Neo Cortex, if you collect 3 of their heads in this game, if I remember correctly, you get another sort of bonus round, and it would be absolutely insanely hard. It was nothing like a bonus round. It was hardcore mode. It was absolutely hardcore mode. And I think you did have to do that because some of the levels I think had 2 gems, and to get the other one, I think you had to complete that level to get the 2nd gem. I might be wrong, because it's been a very long time since I finished the entirety of Crash Bandicoot 1. So yeah, I think that's what happened. But yeah, I'm very glad they've still got all of the heads and that. The sound effects and music are sounding brilliant so far. Let's carry on. Even Uka Uka's invincibility music is the same. Oh no, it's not. It sounds a little bit more tiki, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to pause it here quickly. Now, if I'm not sure in this gameplay, but I'm pretty sure Crash Bandicoot goes to the left. But if you go the right way when you're playing this game, you smack an exclamation mark box, and when you smack them, it activates lots of boxes that weren't normally there. And when you do it, there's a whole line of boxes that appear over a hole. And if you want to get the gem, you're going to have to collect all of those boxes. And I tell you, WolfTheWolfettes, if you play Crash Bandicoot 1, you would know. It is virtually impossible to do that in one go. I mean, you can, you know, after a bit of practice, but I tell you, that is the bane of my life right there. I used to die on it so many times. And also another thing that used to happen, I'm not sure if they're going to keep it the same way, but in Crash Bandicoot 1, if you died, then all of the boxes would reappear in the level. So it was recommended that you just restart the level completely. Otherwise you would have to run backwards through the whole level to collect all the boxes again. But yeah, look, I don't know if they've changed that or not. I guess we'll find out in the future. Right, let's carry on. Oh, the music is brilliant though. Oh, there we go. Look, that's something new. Let's pause it with Crash in the air. Sorry, Crash. Now, that square right there, that will tell you how many boxes you've missed. Now, that was only in Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 originally. You didn't have that counter in Crash Bandicoot 1. So I'm glad they've added that to Crash Bandicoot 1. That's a good change. That way you know if you missed any boxes. Let's carry on. Oh, he even does his little pose. Oh, they've even got this bit. They've literally done it perfectly. It's the same game, but clean and shiny. And look how fluffy Crash Bandicoot is. Look how orange and fluffy Crash Bandicoot is. Even the wall. And they've added time trials to it. Yeah, there was no time trials in Crash Bandicoot 1 or Crash Bandicoot 2. So it looks like they're adding time trials to all 3 games. If you don't know what the time trials are, basically you have to go through the level as quick as you can. And if you smack those boxes with numbers on them, it will stop the countdown for a few minutes, a few seconds. So if you hit the 1, it will stop it for 1 second. Is he going to take the right route? Here we go. No. Oh, no. These are the bonus rounds that you get for collecting 3 of Tanya Bandicoot's heads. Another impossible challenge right here. Whoever did this gameplay, right, he's really pussying out, isn't he? He should have gone for it. There's my bird, Tanya Bandicoot. I do wonder why we never see her in the other games. Oh, right, now I think this right here might be one of the super hard bonus rounds when you collect 3 of Neo Cortex's head. Or it might be Dr. Embryo. I'm pretty sure it's one of them. It might be another bonus round, but I'm not sure. Oh, the visuals are absolutely astounding. I mean, look how beautiful they are. I've not seen a single fault of this so far, you know, and I'm a very sceptical person when it comes to Crash Bandicoots not made by Naughty Dog or published by Sony. And this has been perfect. Crash Bandicoot just got abused by... Look at him, poor guy. Look how fluffy he is. Look how fluffy he is. And there we go. That's the gameplay again. So I tell you, Wolfettes, I tell you. I've looked at all of that footage and I cannot see a single thing. The only thing that worries me a little bit is... I don't know, Crash Bandicoot does seem to be a little bit slow. If you watch it, he looks like he's got a little bit of a slowness to him. Because if you play Crash Bandicoot, he is very fast, you know. The game is very fast paced. But if you look at that, he's... I don't know. It feels like he's being quite slow. But yeah, I don't know. That's something that could be easily fixed. I suppose they could do a little bit of coding, you know. Up his speed. It might just be me. It's probably something that you have to play yourself. And it just looks slow to me. But yeah, that was Crash Insane gameplay. And that was just my thoughts on the whole Crash Bandicoot stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not something I normally upload, but I'm so excited about Crash Bandicoot. I just wanted to talk about it, you know. I've been waiting so long for Crash Bandicoot. You don't even know, you know. Crash Bandicoot for me, it's on a personal level and on a fun level, it's my #1 game of all time. Seeing this, seeing how good this was, I was nearly speechless. I tell ya. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of Crash Insane Trilogy in the comments below. Let me know if you agree that it's looking good. Let me know things that you're worried about, stuff like that. Just let me know in the comments, or have a good old chin wag in the comments section below. Or tell me if you hate it. I don't care. It's up to you. But thanks for watching, Wolfettes. Hopefully you enjoyed this different video. Like, share, and join the pack today. Oh!